Welcome to everyone. My name is Ismael Herrera. I'm with AARP San Antonio. Today we are very happy to have Tia Rodriguez doing a presentation for us. Tia specializes in vegan comfort food. And today she will tell us a little bit more about what she's cooking. And I appreciate when everyone joining. If you'd like to learn more about AARP, please visit aarp.org/San Antonio. Alrighty. Thank you, Tia, for joining us, and I'll get out of your way.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Ismael, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Again, my name is Tia, and for those of you that do not know me, I run a business called Urban Soul, and what we do is we specialize in veganizing comfort food and soul food as well. So some of our favorites would be stuff like fried chicken, of course, the macaroni and cheese that we'll be doing today. We've done renditions of the truffle fries. I make crab cakes. I mean, we pretty much do it all. So today we will be doing the macaroni and cheese. So let's get into the difference between regular macaroni and cheese and macaroni and cheese that we'll be preparing today. Typically, you would be using either like a high-fat milk. You would be using regular animal-based cheeses, such as like your cheddar cheese. I don't know if any of y'all are used to making the 3 cheese, but you know, some families do the 3 cheese, and they use butter as well. So the ingredients that we're going to be using today, for those who are not familiar with the term plant-based, vegan, I know everybody knows what a vegetarian is. So plant-based means just that. We will be actually using vegetables to create something that we all know and love. The ingredients for this, I'm not sure who's going to be cooking along, but we had one that consisted of cashews, plant milk, garlic, onion, turmeric, nutritional yeast. Whatever seasonings you're used to using, you can just go ahead and use that. I'm not sure, some people may use unsalted seasonings. Some people may use the seasonal and the traditional seasonings within our culture. So for me particularly, y'all already know how I am about my flavor. I gotta have all the flavor. So of course, I'm gonna be using seasonal. I'm gonna be using the turmeric, the garlic powder. I brought everything to the table, as you can see. And so also some people are not familiar with different types of powders. So you don't necessarily have to use, these are garlic cloves in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So there's actually a powder for each vegetable, and it's just as good if you forget to go out and get like whole garlic cloves, or, you know, I have some onion here that I've already chopped. You don't have to use that. There are powders that you can get that basically taste exactly the same, and you know, you can just use those instead. The other version of our mac and cheese, which I'm really excited about, consists of carrots, cauliflower, potatoes, the whole onions, the whole garlic cloves. And actually, I decided to add, I know I asked you guys to buy some packaged cheeses, but I went ahead with the smoked Gouda. I thought that would be really fun to just add like the extra smokiness to this recipe. It's already really good, but just adding the Gouda to it is just gonna make it stand out so much more. So also with the plant-based lifestyle, there are so many products right now that you guys can get. I don't consume dairy, so basically all of the plant milks are available. Let me see if I can show you guys. So this will be almond milk. We're gonna be using a gluten-free pasta. Okay, so I am using live-free, gluten-free, and it's brown rice quinoa pasta. So I mean, there's many versions of pasta, it really doesn't matter. A lot of people are becoming gluten-free now, you're seeing that more and more. People are just allergic to gluten. So those are all the ingredients that we're gonna be using today. Without further ado, now that I finished all of that, letting you guys know, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the cashew recipe. So for this recipe, we're gonna be using about 2 cups of cashews. And again, I went ahead and soaked these overnight, just so I can make sure that those gases were released. And it's very simple. Just gonna go ahead and put these into my blender. And if you don't have a food processor, it's okay. I personally love this Vitamix. It's so good for everything. And I live by it. Anybody who is already in their transition, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's literally a lifesaver. And then this is the nutritional yeast. I'm gonna do about 4 tablespoons of this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the whole garlic cloves, just because when you're using the cashews, I really, really like a very creamy type of cheese substitute. So I'm gonna use about 4 to 5 garlic cloves, and I really like a nice garlicky flavor. I'm gonna do 5. And then I'm also gonna add, once again, the turmeric. It's very, very essential. We wanna add this not just for health purposes, but also to get that beautiful cheese color.
Tia?
Yes.
Hi, we have a question in the comment box. Tammy wants to know, someone wants to know if they're allergic to cashews. Will any other nut do?
You could try to use almonds. I'm not too sure about that. That's a really, really good question. I know that some people use almonds. I do know that other people use walnuts for different things, plant-based. So that's a really, really good question. You may be able to do the same process. I did see something where someone made a Alfredo sauce with sunflower seeds. That was really, really interesting, and it looks delicious. Sunflower seeds is also good because cashews and all of these higher nut, you know, in the nut family, they tend to be more expensive. So if you're looking for something that doesn't have necessarily is not that high, then you can go ahead and go with the sunflower seeds as well, and it'll do the exact same thing. So now I'm gonna go ahead with onion powder for this recipe. We'll reserve the whole onions for the other recipe. So I'm just gonna do about 4 teaspoons of onion powder. I put a little extra. Flavor is my thing, y'all. I can't do without it. Okay, so now we're gonna add in that black pepper once again. We wanna make sure, yes.
We have another question.
Uh-huh.
How much turmeric are you using?
So I use maybe about 1 to 2 tablespoons. You can go lower, teaspoon. It just really depends on your flavor profile. I would say if you're just starting out, maybe just use like 1 to 2 teaspoons. Get a feel for how the taste is of the turmeric, or maybe you can taste it before, but I just use probably like maybe 2 tablespoons. And so now we're gonna add in our pepper. I'm not gonna over pepper this one. Maybe 1.5 tablespoons on that one. And then, let's see, for this one, I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my coconut milk, just so I can show you guys This is gonna be about 1 cup of coconut milk. Just adding that in there. And if you notice that the texture is too thick, you can also add a little bit to it. The beauty about this lifestyle is it's like exploring, like you're starting all over. And in the beginning, I was so excited because it was a whole new world. You know, it's like I'm used to eating these foods, and now it just opened a door for me to experiment. It's just really, really exciting. So don't be afraid to experiment. There is no such thing as a mistake. Just go ahead with your flavor profile and kind of learn what it is that you like and what is to your liking. This is gonna be our dried parsley. I'm just gonna add about 2 pinches in here. And that will do.
Atia?
Yes.
We have a question here about what do you soak the nuts in? Is it something you
Water.
soak in water?
Yes, just water. Yeah, so you want to soak them in water. I don't recommend using any type of like, yeah, don't use anything else, just water. That's a very good question though. That was a very good question. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of the seasoning salt. I know some people don't use stuff that has salt in it, whatever it is that you use for your preference of seasoning, but I'm using seasoning salt. And then I'm gonna be doing about 3 tablespoons of this. Okay, 4, why not? Let's have some fun. Okay. So now what you have here is basically a very, very creamy type of cheese substitute. And if you guys have ever been to Urban Soul, this is sort of it's very similar to what I use for the white cheddar mac. For those of you who have had my white cheddar mac, this would be the base of how to create that type of macaroni and cheese. So what you also can do is, let me see, depending on, you know, your diet, your goals, your regimen. Again, I did list plant-based cheeses on the recipe as well. So just depending on your liking, this is a really, really good brand. I don't know if you guys can see this, Follow Your Heart. This is a really good brand of cheese. Also, I found that this one was kind of good, surprisingly to me. Can y'all see that? It says 365 and it's from Whole Food Market. Surprisingly, this one was really, really good. Another one that I don't have here right now is the Vitalife. Now that one has a really, really nice texture. It melts well. And all of these are plant-based cheeses. So if you turn it over, you're like, what the heck did they make that out of? That's kind of weird. It's, you know, it's actually not weird. Vegetables have the same taste, maybe not the exact same texture, but you'll be surprised that vegetables do have a very, very similar taste to the things that we eat that have dairy in them. So this one particularly has, let's see, it's gluten-free, and it has coconut oil, potato, a lot of potato in here. It's got olive extract, paprika, beta carotene for color. So that's basically what this one is made of. And then this is the same, coconut oil, potato starch, olive extract. So these are really, really good. This one has paprika in it. That's probably what I was tasting when I had the cheese. And then these are some of my favorites, y'all. I really, really love kale. Kale has stepped their game up since they first got out. So if you're looking for a really, really good plant-based, they have white and I believe they have cheddar as well, but don't quote me on that. I use this one for my white cheddar mac. These are very, very delicious. So, and it's made by Field Roast too. So Field Roast is a great company. And this is the one that we're gonna be using for this recipe. So I went ahead and boiled my noodles. I didn't cheat, I just, you know, for the sake of time. When you guys are boiling these gluten-free noodles, okay, I already know the struggle. It took me a while to kind of get the hang of doing it. The best method to boiling a gluten-free noodle, in my opinion, is to heat the water first. Make sure the water comes to a boil first. And then at that point, then you'll go ahead and add the noodles, put some grapeseed oil, some olive oil, you know, just make sure that it's actually boiling. And the oil, just a little bit, not too much, you know, you just want to stop it from sticking when you drain it out. So you do that, but you kind of have to watch it. It happens so fast. I've had gluten-free noodles that I boil and they literally just fall apart in the same pot. And I'm just like, okay, well, there goes that. So make sure that you pay attention to these noodles. I can't give you the exact time. You just kind of have to watch it because it goes case by case depending on the brand that you purchased. So we'll go ahead and add these into our pan. And make sure that you fill it at least halfway first, so that this way you can spread your cheese sauce around. And I know some of y'all came in here thinking that I was about to do some science, but I promise you it is this easy. There is no science involved. There was no math. That wasn't my favorite subject anyway, so I would have been out of there. All right, so we just wanna mix this around, and look how beautiful this looks, guys. Look how delicious this looks. This is really, really decadent. It's very smooth. I can already smell the garlicky flavor coming out of it. It's making me hungry. Now, if you did want to get some of that color, you would add a little bit extra of the turmeric, and you also can use a package, like one of those cheeses, and blend it up in there as well. For this method, this is a very fast method of mac and cheese. If you're rushing or whatever, just soak your noodles at night, throw everything into the blender. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. All right, so now we'll go ahead there. And then I'm going to put, I don't know if you want to just give it a little taste. Let me give it a little taste and make sure we're good on all the flavors. That is delicious. I don't know if y'all just tried that with me. That's real good. Okay. Ooh, I can't wait to eat it now. So we're gonna go ahead and coat the top of this with our cheese, okay? And in order to get that really melty top that a lot of people like, you might wanna cover this up. Again, this is not dairy. It's a way more healthier way to live. It's plant-based. And these cheeses are literally made from vegetables. So their stretch goes on a case-by-case basis. This one also, I'm reading it, and it says coconut oil, corn, potato starch. So yeah, this is. We'll go ahead and slide this into the oven now. Put a little bit of paprika over the top of it, just a pinch. And are you guys enjoying this teaching session? Are y'all finding value in everything that I'm saying? Drop a yes. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask away. I am here just for that. So, ooh, I almost forgot. I want to add a little bit of the dried parsley over the top. It just looks so pretty. And it adds a really, really great flavor to it. Okay, so this is what that's looking like going in the oven. What I like to do also is to just take take some of this extra and kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like tuck it in with the cheese, just to give it a little bit more moisture while it's in the oven. So I just put a little bit more cheese sauce, and I'm just gonna tuck that shredded cheese right in there to make sure that these shreds are completely in the sauce. This is so delicious. Okay. This one's going in the oven, and I have my oven set to 350 currently. And you'll just pop that right in there. Next, we're gonna be working on the vegetable recipe with the smoked Gouda cheese, and I'm super excited about that. I love me a good smoked Gouda. If you are not about that smoked Gouda life, that's okay. You can get the kale cheese. You also can get the Follow Your Heart or the Vitalite cheddar shreds. Those are delicious as well. Whatever it is that you love, then you can substitute that item out. All right, so let's give this a rinse. Perfect. So now we are moving on to our vegetable recipe. On this one, we're gonna be using all whole vegetables, okay? So we'll be having the carrots. Now, what I went ahead and did was I boiled all of the vegetables first. That's the very first thing that you wanna do. You do not wanna just take these vegetables, you know, in their state that they're already in and just throw them in there. Again, you'll want to go through the process of soaking them first. If you have like a little vegetable brush or like a little brush that you can use, I would also recommend that you do that as well, just to make sure that you clean it really, really good before you get to this step, okay? So you'll wanna boil it, and then after it's boiled, this is where I am now. So we're gonna go ahead and add that in there. Carrots, I think I've got about 2.5, because my pans are a little smaller than a traditional. So if you were doing like a medium size, maybe you'd want to do, let's see, maybe like 4 to 5 carrots.
Tia,
Yes.
we have a question here. How long does the mac and cheese stay in the oven?
Mine, I normally leave from 20 to 30 minutes. If you can kind of peek in there, maybe in like 15 minutes and see where it's at, if the shreds are all down, and of course you covered it. If not, then you can cover it in the sauce and kind of do the tucking method that I did. But you want to check in there in about 15 minutes and just make sure if it's melted, and if it is, then you're good to go. If you're like me, I like the brown coat on the top, so you might want to leave it just a little bit longer. But it just kind of depends on your personal liking. So this is going to be our cauliflower, and I have exactly 1 cup in here. And again, I went ahead and boiled all these vegetables first. And then this is going to be our yellow potatoes. I wanted to use gold potatoes because I kind of don't like the texture of just the other ones. Russet potatoes, I don't like that texture. So the gold has a really, really nice one. And I went ahead and left the skin on because why not? This is a plant-based situation, and we are going to take every part of the vegetable that we can. Now, if you don't like the skins, then you don't have to use it, but this is gonna be 2 potatoes. Let's cut it in half. And then I have some onion here, some chopped onion. I did purple and regular, just, you know, whatever you have is fine. You don't have to be picky on the onions unless you have a preferred taste. Okay. And then I'm going to add our garlic cloves once more. I prefer garlic cloves over garlic powder, just because I feel like it has so much more depth to the actual garlic clove. But if you can't use the garlic clove, it's too garlicky for you, for this recipe, you can do like 4 tablespoons of the garlic powder. So I just put 4 garlic cloves in there. And then again, the nutritional yeast. I'm gonna go ahead and just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 tablespoons. And then this is very minimal turmeric in here. So this is 2 tablespoons worth of turmeric. All right. And we're gonna circle back around with that black pepper to make sure that we get to experience the maximum benefits of the turmeric. That's gonna be 2 tablespoons as well. And then I'm gonna also go in with some parsley. This is to your liking. I just add a couple of pinches to it. It's very delicious. It adds a really nice flavor. All right. And I have some almond milk here. Let's see. This is gonna be about 1 cup as well. So we're gonna add that in. And I think I'm going to test this out. I may need a little bit more, but let's see how we do. Any questions so far on this method? All right. And y'all can already start to see that that cheese color is coming in, and that comes from the carrots. So we're gonna just blend it a little while longer. All right, perfect. And this is going to be my favorite part, where I'm going to add in the smoked Gouda. I'm just gonna throw this bad boy in there. This is gonna give this a wonderful taste. All right, perfect. So one thing that I did not do with this one, I need to add a little bit more seasoning. And it looks like I'm kind of low on the seasonal. So I'm gonna put the rest of this. This looks like maybe one teaspoon. I need way more flavor than that. So let me go in here and grab my seasonal. Go ahead and put some more in here. Now we're in business. Okay, so that was 1. That was about 3. Okay. Now here we go again. All right, guys, we got through that part together. Now what we'll be doing is we're going to pour this with my spoon. Oh, let me rinse it off real quick. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing that we did the first time. Mix that in. And do y'all see that beautiful color? That color is everything. And the smell of this right now, oh my God, I just smell that smoked Gouda. It smells so delicious. So I don't know if y'all saw what I did, but I took the packaged cheese that I had and I just put it in the blender with. And that's just gonna give it a little extra texture and flavor as well. So I'll go ahead and put some more sauce. So I'm gonna sauce it up. All right. And so I don't know about you, but look at how this macaroni and cheese is already looking. That looks absolutely amazing. Okay, so what we will do after that process, I do have some So Delicious dairy-free, plant-based cheddar style shreds. And what I'm gonna do with this one is I will be adding it to, or not, because this is difficult to open. Y'all bear with me 1 second. All right, here we go. There it is. Okay, so we're adding in the cheddar shreds. Okay. And we just want to do the tuck method again. Just kind of tuck it on in there. And if you have any extra shreds from the kale, you can also add that onto this. All right. Let's see, is there anything else? I'm gonna go ahead and taste it just to make sure everything's good. Y'all, I'm sorry. That is really, really delicious. It's good. So, you'll put that in the oven the same way that you did the first time. And I have a finished product of our vegetable one. This has been in the oven for about 15 minutes at 350. And look at how beautiful, guys. It's full of flavor, delicious, and then we'll go ahead and top it off with some fresh parsley. And there you have it. Are y'all seeing that? Now you'll want to let it rest for a bit just so that you can get the same type of firmness in your macaroni. And then I'm gonna go ahead and check on this other one real quick and see where we, oh, that's looking gorgeous. I can go ahead and take this out already. So what I can do is this one. This one hasn't had any rest time, so of course it's gonna look a little different. And let me get a plate to put it on. All right, here we go. I'm ready to eat. Goes one. Resting time is very important, again, because you want to be able to get that firmness, but just for the, so that you guys can see where we are now in the process, we'll go ahead and show you. So it'll look something similar to this, and then we're going to go ahead and top it off with our parsley. And look how delicious that is. And this will be the white cheddar mac, as well as the traditional that we did with the vegetable method. All right, any questions for me, you guys? Did you guys check, did y'all taste yours? Tell me what's going on. How y'all feeling about this?
Yeah, everything looks delicious. They both do, and that's what we've heard from a lot of folks. Folks, everyone who registered for this, we will be sending out the full list of ingredients. For this one, we didn't pre-post them, but we're going to post them. We're going to send it to folks after the event. But I really appreciate everything. Thank you, Tia, for putting.
You're so welcome. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to taste it for you guys. I know that wasn't a part of it, but you know, why not? It's lunchtime. Look at this. It's beautiful. That is phenomenal. That's very good, guys.
Which of the two
I
is your
hope y'all enjoy. I'm in my happy place.
Yeah. Do you mind telling folks what about the other upcoming sessions that we have coming up?
Absolutely. So the next one that we have coming up is gonna be our fried chicken and waffles. You guys, y'all have to be a part of that. I'm gonna be breaking it down, and we are going to be using jackfruit as a substitute. I'm gonna teach you how to make fried chicken out of jackfruit. This is our fried chicken that is fried to perfection. You literally will not be able to tell the difference. It's a really, really great recipe, as well as our waffles. And so if you guys are familiar with our establishment with Urban Soul or with Urban or Urban Kitchens, you definitely have had to try our chicken and waffles by now. So that is the recipe that we're going to be sharing with you guys, and I cannot wait. I'm super excited.
I've posted the link to the next session. The next session is next week, a week from today, on April 27th at noon. And as Kim mentioned, she's going to be making fried chicken and waffles. So if you see the link, feel free to register. And we will also have another event on May 4th. So 2 weeks from today, Tia is going to be showing us how to make black-eyed peas over rice.
That is my favorite recipe, guys. Again, if y'all have tasted that, if y'all been to Urban or Urban Soul or Urban Kitchens, you guys already know the vibes. Y'all already know what's about to happen. The black-eyed peas over rice is so filling, and it is something that is literally a soul staple in our community. So you cannot go anywhere without having the macaroni and cheese, the black-eyed peas over rice. So yes, I'm definitely excited for showing you guys how to make this in a plant-based way, but just full and packed with flavor.
Okay, well, like I mentioned, the link for the next 2 sessions is in the chat. Please join us again. I hope everyone enjoyed today's presentation. If you would like to learn more about AARP and AARP in San Antonio, visit aarp.org/San Antonio. You can also find out more about this and more offerings at our AARP Texas Facebook page. So if you go on to our Facebook page and enter the events tab, you will see a whole host of different offerings. But again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and thank you, Tia, for putting on this great presentation.